So welcome back to this special edition of Mosaic, where we're talking about the newest saint in the Catholic Church, Saint Teresa of Calcutta. We have with us today Deacon Rory, who very recently was named the deacon chaplain to the local Missionaries of Charity. So Rory, could you tell us in some detail, or what detail you choose, about the work of the sisters in San Francisco and your work as their chaplain?
Absolutely, I'm happy to. In San Francisco, the sisters have the shelter for the women and children. In the mornings, they feed the elderly poor at that same site, which is in Sadoa Street in San Francisco. And then every afternoon, they travel out to Cesar Chavez, to St. Anthony of Padua Church. There's a kitchen and a dining room there.
This is kind of a silly question, but how do those in need find them?
The sisters find the homeless. They go out and they advertise where the kitchen is going to be. They travel to the underpasses. They go into the alleys and the gutters, and they talk and they share time. They spend time talking with people and letting them know. And between 80 and 100, 120 people come every day, and they're all regulars. It's a little community that forms. And that's the important thing. The sisters are there with friends. They're there with people they know and love.
And are you able to minister to these folks as well?
Yes, I go with them. And one of the things I learned working with the sisters is that we're treating the whole person, body and soul. When I was there first, I was concentrating just on handing out food and giving sandwiches. And I was happy with that. But the sisters very gently asked me to expand my role and go out and actually offer prayer blessings to the homeless. This was at the underpass at Cesar Chavez and Potrero. And at first I was shy. I didn't think they'd be very interested. So what I did is I sat over in a corner and I said, if anybody wants a blessing after you've eaten, just come over here and we'll do a prayer blessing, fully expecting not to have anyone take me up on it. What actually happened was that one man came forward and we prayed together. And when I looked up, a whole line had formed. And they were standing there reverently, prayerfully. And one by one they came forward and we prayed together. And the Lord had turned that underpass into a church. And now when I arrive, they cluster around me as soon as I come out of the van, asking for prayers and blessings before the food. And these are hungry people who may not have eaten for a day or two. But what is most important to them, what they want first, is prayer. And the sisters taught me that. Man truly does not live by bread alone, but by every word from God's mouth, even a hungry man.
So you mentioned the AIDS hospice as well for the homeless. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, it's a wonderful place. It's called A Gift of Love, and it is a gift of love. It's in Pacifica, and there's room for about 13 guests, residents, and we are frequently full. Now, most of our guests are homeless people who have HIV/AIDS and are dying of AIDS. Because being homeless, they don't have full adherence to the medicine. They're living in a context that doesn't allow them to be healthy. And then, tragically, they then end up with full-blown AIDS. These days, what happens is that many of them, once they are in the hospice, getting the care and the love they receive from the sisters, recover enough that they're able to transition back into the social welfare system and get help and get housing. Some significant portions still die because they're so ill when they come to us. But what they find in the hospice is a place where they are loved, and people find their full human dignity again, and peace. And it's counterintuitive, but it's actually a very joyful place. I'm there every week, and I love going. These people are my friends.
And we'll talk later about how our viewers perhaps can become involved in any of this work or all of the work. I think you told me previously that they also have a summer camp.
Every year now, the sisters have started running a summer camp for children and teenagers. We've held it at Church of the Visitation in Visitation Valley. It's a week long. It's usually focused, there are different themes each year, but it's focusing on prayer and on the Lord and faith, and giving the children that experience and fun. This year, we took children to the beach on the final day of the camp. And for some of the kids there, it was their first time ever being at the beach. Also, what we started doing this year being the Year of Mercy, we started a series of pilgrimages to the cathedral. And we take a busload of the people we feed on the street, from the street to the cathedral, where they go on pilgrimage. And this has become a very popular thing with the homeless community. They love going to the cathedral. They love praying there. And for us, it's become a very important ministry. In addition, the sisters go out into some of the parishes and teach faith formation to the children for CCD. They're at St. Finbarr's Parish in San Francisco doing that, and some others. We do house visits. We go to people's homes and pray with them in their homes and do home blessings, which is one of the very original works of the sisters in Calcutta. And again, is hugely popular with people. They love to have the sisters and I come, visit with them in their home, which is simply often a one-room little single-room occupancy. But we pray there, we bless the room, and it becomes a place that's holy for the person.
And I believe you said at some point that the sisters pray themselves. Thursdays are apparently...
Thursdays is the one day they don't do any of the ministries. They spend that day in their respective convent fully in prayer all day long, and that's all over the world. Every evening after we finished feeding the homeless, they return to the convent and they have evening prayer, rosary, and holy hour of adoration before Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. And on some evenings, there's benediction as well. I join them from that whenever possible. And that's something that people who are looking, who want to join the sisters for either service or prayer, should be aware of. They can join them for this.
This wonderful community must be pretty excited about the canonization of their founder.
They're very excited and very happy. One of the reasons they have me sharing all this information with you today is they want to make people aware of what they're doing here locally, so that as we celebrate the canonization of Mother Teresa, they can invite people who are interested to celebrate that canonization by joining in some of the work here.
And when we come back, we're going to talk more about that. There is an exhibit at the cathedral for the next small period of time. Have you seen
Until
it?
Saturday, and I encourage people to go. It's a wonderfully produced exhibit. It gives you a really good insight to Mother Teresa and her work.
Excellent. So when we come back, we will reflect a bit more on the canonization of Blessed Teresa taking place today, and also learn how anyone so inspired can do the work of St. Teresa here in San Francisco.